All right, welcome to Sticks and Sips. I am Frankie Drinks Moreno, and I'm here for the Drew Estate Virtual Happy Hour. Welcome back. I'm glad you guys have joined us. Super excited because this is, we're talking about tequila, we're talking about tobacco, we're talking about coffee, and more importantly, we're hanging out and we're enjoying our virtual happy hour together. So I am super excited to go over the menu for tonight. You know, this is a happy hour. So what's on the menu? We've got a cocktail I call the XO, and we'll go over that in a minute. Our sips are Patron XO Cafe and a couple of fantastic tequilas from Patron as well. Our special guests are Kenny Jordan, Regional Director for Patron Spirits, as Rob Amato, a mixologist from Las Vegas and friend to Drew Estate. And our stick for tonight, the very infamous Tabak Especial Dulce and Negra. And more importantly, our raffle for tonight is some Pappy Van Winkle cutters. So all you guys got to do is submit a question for me or for anyone in the Zoom lounge. And we're going to give away 5 of these great cocktails. 5 of these great cutters, not cocktails, if we pick your question. So with that, let's check into the Zoom lounge. I think we've got everybody in there. So you guys can go ahead, unmute yourselves. And first off, I want to say hello to Kenny Jordan, Regional Director for Patron Spirits. Kenny, how you doing, brother?
Hello. I'm great, man. Thank you for asking. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I see you're working on a cocktail already. That's a great way to start off the Drew Estate Virtual Happy Hour.
I'm doing the featured cocktail, my man.
So welcome. Also got Mr. Rob Amato down there. Rob, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Frank? How are you?
So listen, Rob, you know, you're a friend of Drew Estate for a long time, and it's great to have you back on the show. We're super excited to have you on. Next up, I've got my man Gerald. Gerald, unmute yourself and say hello. There you go. We got Gerald Chin. He's with the Mina Restaurant Group, and this guy's the expert in steak, among other great culinary stuff. And he's a big Drew Estate fan as well. So it's great to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And next up, and last but not least, my man Joey. Joey, what's happening, brother?
I'm always the least. Remember that. I'm the least last, maybe, but least definitely. I'm just chilling out. I'm enjoying the cocktail, and I did a little extra. I splashed a little ancho in there just to spice it up a bit, just because
that's how you do. You know, that's how you do, and that's why we love you, brother. So it's great to have you on.
Yeah, cheers to everybody out there, man.
Cheers, guys.
Listen, big shout out to everyone popping in on Facebook and saying hello from all these great spots. You know, I don't get to see it from my view, but I definitely watch it the next day, and I'm able to see people checking in from all parts of the world, and that's such a great thing, from Australia to Norway to Mexico to Honduras to all corners of the U.S. So
808 state, baby, in the house.
So hats off to everyone out there checking in. Keep checking in. I love to see that, and we love to see that. Get your questions in. Get your chance to win a cutter. These great Cigar cutters makes a great little addition to your Drew Estate collection. So without further ado, what's a happy hour without a cocktail? So I did something called an XOXO. So listen, one of the simplest cocktails you're going to be able to make at home. So you're basically taking some Patron XO Cafe. You're taking an ounce of Patron XO Silver. You're going to take an ounce of heavy cream, but you could use half and half if you want to. And I add that little extra shot of espresso in there because I love my coffee. And all you got to do is real simple. You want to throw everything together. So there you go. Just combine everything in a shaker, shake until really cold, and then strain it onto the fresh chunk of ice. You know, I prefer a big glass. So cheers to you guys. You guys get to see the footage. So let's roll that beautiful footage. Dump on my boy Dario. Big shout out. Real simple, guys. Get your ingredients ready, and it's the simplest way to put a cocktail together. So if you're not a big fan of shaking cocktails, this is how you learn. Put it together, give it a nice, good shake. And there's your heavy cream. And then throw in your espresso. If you're like Joey, you can add a little bit of a spicy liqueur in there just to give it like a Mexican coffee type flavor. You want to give it a good shake because you want to incorporate that cream in there. And then I've got that nice little ball of ice there, and just pour it over and enjoy. And this is a great compliment for you guys that we've been talking about cocktails. And what's the concept behind the cocktails? Those are your tabaks. This concept, as we've talked about, there's reinforcement and contrast. Tonight, we're talking about reinforcement. So you're layering flavor, coffee flavors, beautiful tequila flavors over the tobacco flavors. And that's a fantastic way to go. So with that, without further ado, my honored guest tonight, one of my first guests is Kenny Jordan. He's regional director for Patron Spirits. And Kenny, welcome, brother.
Thank you so much, man. Cheers, my man. Glad to be here.
Now, I'm always happy to have not only a spirit guy, because you guys, that's where I roll. That's where I live, in the spirit world. Yeah. But also a Drew Estate fan. So
big time, man.
First, let's talk about you being a Drew Estate guy. Because I know you get that box of Liga. Everybody sees it back there. You get that box of Liga. I know you're a big Liga guy too.
Big time, man. So, I first found Liga and really Drew Estates at a cigar shop back in Dallas. And one of the guys put me onto that brand, and I started buying those sampler packs when Liga first came out. So I've still got a couple stashed in my humidor that I waiting for a really special occasion to bust those old ones out. Well, but been a fan ever since. It's a no-brainer.
Well, you can give the shop a shout out if you want to.
That'd be Cigar Warehouse there in Plano. And then, where I get all mine now is that Fox Cigar there in Scottsdale, Arizona. So shout out to all those guys. Good.
We love those guys at Fox's as well. Yeah, absolutely. So Kenny, tell us a little bit about what you do for Patron.
So I'm the regional director for the West, minus the Western states, minus California and Hawaii. So I've got a small team that's anywhere from Washington out here in Las Vegas, Arizona. We also cover New Mexico and all the way up to Alaska as well.
That's a big territory, brother.
I get some miles out there, man.
Well, so listen, a lot of people know Patron. That bottle is something that people have learned to recognize and really embrace. But tell us a brief story of the story Patron.
So Patron's been around since 1989. And it was founded and started by John Paul DeJoria. For those of you that don't know John Paul, he's a true rags to riches story. He was homeless at times, but fast forwarding quite a bit through his lifetime story, he helped found Paul Mitchell Hair Care Systems. He and his business partner found a love for tequila out in Mexico, and couldn't find 100% agave tequila like they could find out in Mexico. So being the entrepreneurs that they were and are, they founded Patron. So they found our master distiller out there in 1989, and Francisco just retired last week, unfortunately, or fortunately for him. But you know what? Since 1989, we've been growing and fortunate and proud to be the number one selling premium tequila not only in the U.S. but the world. So we're very fortunate, very proud, and thankful.
Well, I love the story.
And I can go on too. So that's a short version.
Yeah, please. If you want to go on, please do. Because if for those of you guys watching, Casamigos and how well those guys did, but Patron was really the first guys to come into the market and really take it over and be as impactful as they were. in the world. So
Yeah.
I would say, hey, look, give us a rundown. I mean, I've got some great products right here. So
You got some awesome ones there, man.
So let's talk about, first of all, let's before we go there, you just mentioned your original master distiller retired, and
Yes.
you've got a new master distiller, a young man by the name of David Rodriguez. So he's got some big shoes to fill, right?
You know your stuff, man.
I try to prepare, man. I try to prepare.
I love it. Yeah, he's been out there a long time working side by side with Francisco. So we're definitely in good hands there. But yeah, I mean, to go down the list, I mean, we'll start off with what we're featuring.
Let's
today.
do the cafe.
Exo Cafe. So this one's a real fun one. It's the base. It's obviously all premium ingredients, but the base is our Patron Silver. Then once we have our Patron Silver, we take the essence of Arabica coffee beans that are all sourced out there in Mexico. So the Chiapas area of Mexico. We blend that. We add a little bit of a certain kind of sugar so that nothing sticks. I guess is the best word to say, or combines together. And then you've got a really fun spirit. The fun thing about this too, like I said, it's a tequila base. It's our Patron Silver base, but then it's also it's a little higher proof than some of the other coffee liqueurs. So we're talking a 70 proof spirit. So you get a little bang for your buck there with this one.
Well, listen, I like to keep it in the freezer. It was something that someone long ago said, keep it in the freezer and just take shots. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And I tried it. And then I was like, yes, I'm going to do this forever. So there's always
start your night off, man.
So this has always been listen, I'm in Miami. So, we are all Cuban coffeeed out, this is, we call it liquid crack cocaine. And we got Jack Hare, our production guy. He's from Colorado. He said, "Oh my God, this is like liquid cocaine," and it's like, yeah, absolutely. And this is what we drink about every 85 minutes. Because it's required. So
I love it.
And one of those things is that we love coffee, and that's one of the things we have an affinity to coffee, and I think most people do. It just becomes part of your routine. And I think XO Cafe ends up being a wonderful way to get that flavor. Also, we've also got, I've got the Extranejo over here. And I know you've got the Silver, you've got the Reposado, the Añejo, and the Extranejo. So give us a quick rundown about all those.
So the Extranejo, to be deemed an Extranejo, you've got to be no less than 3 years old. So and what that means is you've got to be aged at least 3 years in oak barrels. What you're looking at there is nothing less than 3 years old. Typically, it's going to range in that 4 years of aging there. So you'll see, you look at the color there. There's no additives. There's nothing in there to change the color. What that color you're seeing is really just the drawing of from the oak. So all that color is drawn from aging in the oak. So perfect sipper right there. Perfect old fashioned Manhattan. If you want to switch up, if you're used to using whiskey for those cocktails. It's phenomenal. I love that one, and fairly new to our baseline of tequila.
Well, I'm going to interrupt for a second here, and I'm going to tell everyone there, keep those questions coming in, because we got some great questions, and get your questions into Kenny, because we got a lot of people asking about tequila, how it pairs with cigars. And I'm like, if you're going to start somewhere, and something that Joey like to say, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, this Extra Añejo, beautiful color. It's just a great way for you to experience something new that pairs incredibly well with cigars. Now, I've got something kind of cool and special. I've got something called the estate release of.
Yes, sir.
And this is kind of cool. And
So
tell us about this, man. Tell us about this.
This one's really cool. It's something. It's the first of its kind from us. Really, what it is, it will only come out about every 6 to 8 years. So what we've done with this tequila, we've taken only the agave that are solely grown on our estate out there in Jalisco, at Totonilco Alto, Jalisco, Mexico. So what this is, it's a 100% Tahona stone process. It's a little higher in proof than our base. So it's going to be a little more, agave forward, a little more earthy. And it's such another fun mark. And I'm so glad you're showing it off, because it's, the flavor's all there. It's another perfect sipper, but you can do so much with this stuff too, whether it's, your craft cocktails or, anything with any sort of fruits, and down to just your regular margarita.
So I'm going to go a little bit backwards on this, because I think because we're so used to it to talk about tequila, but what makes tequila, Kenny? Could you just give us, elucidate us on that?
Yeah, so tequila, it's one of the most regulated. It is one of the most regulated spirits in the world. Much like even like a champagne, like how France governs over champagne. Mexico does the same thing with a group called the CRT, or the Tequila Regulatory Council. So in order to be a tequila, you've got to be grown or produced in only 5 states out there in Mexico. The CRT has to deem everything that you do from start to finish within their regulations before that you can get a CRT number. And what that is the NOM number. So every single bottle of tequila, on the Patron Silver, it's got the NOM, Norma Oficial Mexicana, and ours is 1492. That number tells you where every single bottle of tequila is made. So we're very proud that 1492. We only make Patron at Patron. You can look up any other tequila and see where other tequilas are made as well with that number. So like I said, we're very proud to have that, and we're very proud to be able to say we only make Patron at Patron.
Well, one more thing I'm going to add to you is, so people understand not only all those things involved in making tequila, but tequila is only made from one agave varietal.
Yes, sir. The blue agave. So in order to be called a tequila too, you have to be at least 51% Blue Weber agave. The entire Patron line is 100% Blue Weber agave. So good. Like you said, I think between all of us, I always figure that everyone knows it, but not everyone knows that stuff. So thank you for adding that, man.
Absolutely. We're here to, like my good friend David says, we're here to edutain. So
Yes.
we're hoping everybody gets a little bit from this, and I'm going to say this, you guys, I mean, I know we're in COVID right now, but you guys do something really cool called the Hacienda Tour.
Yes, sir.
So, I know that's only for the sexy people. But if you give us a little glimpse into what happens into the Hacienda Tour, and if you guys go online, check out Patron Hacienda Tour, you guys are gonna see some amazing stuff. But tell us about that.
Yeah, you can go on our website and get the virtual tour. We've even got a virtual reality tour of that as well, where you it looks like you're flying around following a bee throughout the whole process. So. Like I said, we're made out there in Totonilco. You fly into Guadalajara. It's about an hour and a half drive into the highlands, and then it opens up to this beautiful estate, and that's where we do everything. Like I said, from start to finish. We've even got a small small hotel on the grounds there, and like you said, it's invite only. It's for industry people only. And you never know who you're going to run into out there too. Last time I was out there, there's people from the Virgin Islands, Japan, then us from the U.S. It's a really awesome melting pot. you get to go experience everything, whether it's the agave fields. You go into where we distill the product. You get to meet and talk to the people that are truly putting their hands onto this process, because this is truly a handmade process, which is why I feel like tequila it goes so great with cigars. And it's, a lot of people think scotches, a lot of people think whiskeys and rums. The handmade process that goes into making a cigar is so synonymous with what goes into how tequila is made.
Well, your Hacienda Tour sounds so much like our cigar safari. So,
and thank you for the invitation. We appreciate that. We're signing up right now.
Yeah, we qualify as industry people, but I have heard, Joey, I have heard that, after they drink tequila all day and have these amazing meals, that they take their repast, their relaxing moment, and they have cigars out there. So
yes,
that's always a great thing to have those cigars out at the Hacienda. So Kenny, we hope we get past COVID quickly and we're able to go visit you and you're able to go visit us. And listen, I skipped one complete thing here.
That's a deal.
I had this beautiful slide that my global creative department made, and that was basically highlighting the XO Cafe, and it has beautiful notes of chocolate and tequila, as well as the coffee base that's in there. And I'm glad you said it's a base of Arabica beans, and it's truly amazing onto that base of the Patron Silver. So
yep.
One more thing, or a couple more things, or 5 more things, we're going to get to, people joining us in the Zoom lounge there, and super excited right now. But let's talk to everybody here about hashtag Raise Your Spirits.
So Raise Your Spirits, I mean, with what's going on right now, I mean, there's no better way to sit here, have a cocktail, whether it's virtually or obviously social distancing, but it's a way to raise your glass, raise your spirits. And it's a hashtag that us and Bacardi have been doing, really since this started. So, hey, raise your spirits. Cheers, guys.
So, raise your spirits, absolutely. So, we're talking about like keeping the hospitality industry front and center.
Yes,
that's really important during this time to help support those and in that. And Kenny, I know you've got something special going on. This is actually the secret Vegas show that we don't call the Vegas show, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But Kenny, you've got a special shout out to some people that are joining us, some industry folk that you've invited into Sticks and Sips. So give them a shout out while you got a moment.
Rob Amato, what's up, my man? Welcome. Thanks for getting me on this, man.
Oh, anytime, Kenny.
And then Gerald, we got Gerald here too.
Yeah.
All right. So we also got some Vegas mixologists joining us tonight. So big shout out to those guys, and we'll let Rob, we'll let our next guest give them a shout out. So Kenny, I want to thank you. Don't go anywhere, because I know we got questions for you. People want to win this, but they want to put in a really good question, and they got lots of questions about pairing tequilas with cigars. So we're super excited about that. So thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you very much, Frank. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Don't go anywhere, man.
No
we got
way.
questions for you.
No
All
way.
right. And
I'm here.
Next up, I got my, my man from Vegas. I got my man, Rob Amato. Welcome, Rob. What's happening, brother?
Oh, not much. Just always happy to be back. Trying to avoid this heat out here. It's 100 degrees today, so it's a nice brisk 100.
Oh, nice brisk, man. I mean, I'm surprised you're not wearing a sweater. So first of all, I'm gonna say, like, I know, we've been chatting for a bit. We're always in contact. You're a big Drew Estate guy, and it's great to have Patron on with us. And tell us about what Patron did out, under Kenny's direction out in Vegas. Tell us a little bit about what they did with some local mixologists out there.
Well, in honor of the show, Kenny wanted to support some of the local bartenders, get them involved with this cocktail and with some cigars. So he had them get some swag packs with some Patron XO in there and some other goodies from them. He even got some tobacs and got them some tobacs. So they're definitely hooked up. And some of those shout outs are Greg Rodriguez from Oak and Ivy, Mike Prisdale from Southern Glazers, Alyssa Campo from Sparrow and Wolf, among others that are out there watching right now.
I love Sparrow and Wolf, man. I can't wait to go back to Vegas. We got some great people joining us in the Zoom, and we'll talk about those great spots you got out there. But this is a time of year where typically we would have been visiting down in Vegas, and we would have been hitting some great spots that you're familiar with. And as you know, as Frankie drinks, I have an issue with Frankie's Tiki Room. Because they're using that name without license, but that is one of my favorite spots, as Golden Tiki is, and and Sparrow and Wolf and D1 and Herbs and Rye and Cleaver, all those guys. So shout out to those guys, and Oak and Ivy, my boy Greg, all the way from Miami, being out there doing the good stuff. So I say cheers to you guys, and Rob, tonight we are. Let me take a sip here, man, because I'm talking and I get a little parched. So I notice Joey's down to the end of his drink, but anyway.
Yeah, due for another.
Anyway, so Rob, we're pairing Tabak tonight with not only XO but with Tequila and the Añejo, and we're having a good time. And you came up with something, man, that was that's kind of off the wall here, man. So you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. So I had asked you when we were chatting maybe last week, 2 weeks ago, about this safari style that I always see on the show, and having not been on safari, hint, hint, what it was.
We have your hit, man, and don't worry, it's going up to the highest of channels. So
so I had to ask you what safari style was, and you explained it to me, and there was something that I asked you about Tabak is how come there's not a mix between the Dulce and the Negra, and you said there isn't because they're so different of a cigar, and my suggestion was before you go any further,
let's throw up that slide of the sticks for tonight. So the sticks for tonight, basically, not only Tabak Especial, the Dulce and the Negra. When we talk about Dulce, we're talking about a Connecticut shade wrapper. We're talking about the Negra, it's a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. And then we got a beautiful Nicaraguan and binders fillers, and the body is medium. They're similar, but they're different enough, and truly something people can enjoy at any time. They make a great pairing with tequila. They make a great pairing with all spirits, man. So I truly do love them. Especially in the 4x32s, because I think that's a quick hitter, as you're having your morning espresso, because espresso is small. So you got to, deal with it. It's a real small serving, Kenny. Small, man. It's not your big old like coffee, man. Not your big old coffee mug here, 72 ounces, 7-Eleven stuff, man. It's a quick hitter, as my boy Jack likes to call it, liquid cocaine. So if you distill down a 37 ounce, coffee that you get at 7-Eleven and put it in a 1 ounce cup, if you distill that down, that's exactly what a espresso is, and you get that quick shot. So you're gonna need to have something quick with it. Always wonderful. So Rob, what did you come up with, man? Because we had that challenge. You can't have a Dulce and you can't have a Negra together.
So the compromise is you got to smoke them both at once. You got to put them together. So, just like that. Just got to have them right together. You got to hit them both at the same time. You get the smooth creaminess from the Dulce and the richness from the Negra, and it kind of just blends it all together.
So what do you call that craziness?
I'm calling it barista style, but if anybody's got any other names, we can.
Like it.
All right, so
take questions.
Under strict instructions, I was told to bind both of these together, and we're smoking this barista style. So if you guys want to go ahead and hashtag that and smoke up your Tabak Dulce and your Negra, and I've got these beautiful Lonsdales right here, and I'm gonna spark that up when I'm not talking. right after the show. But you guys out there that are smoking safari style, I'm gonna suggest you start smoking barista style, and then we'll chat about it later. So, Rob, tell us a little bit about the industry out there. What's happening out in Vegas, brother?
You know, it's been good. Bars have been reopening, restaurants have been reopening. You know, everybody's kind of getting back to work. Unfortunately, we had to kind of close up a little bit, but there's still places that are been able to be open. So, you know, if you can go out and support and you feel comfortable doing it, you know, go out and support your local bars and restaurants, because that's how we're all going to survive through this.
So we got a shout out because you are you're doing a little broadcast out from one of my favorite spots in Vegas too. What is it?
Yeah, so I'm at La Casa Cigar Lounge out here in Las Vegas, doing a media day for some other things, and they were gracious enough to open up for us and let us have the space. So I'm broadcasting from there today.
Well,
nice to be able to smoke inside.
Well, smoking inside is key, as Kenny knows, because he's smoking inside, trying to avoid that 102, except for my man over there that's up in the upper corner. But we'll get to him in a second. But with that, big shout out to the staff out there at La Casa, and with that, I'm going to say, man, thank you very much for being on Sticks and Sips, and so thanks, Rob. You know,
I'm always happy
you ain't
to be
going
on.
nowhere. Guys, if you've got a question for Rob, you know, make sure you get your questions in. Ask, you know, hashtag Ask Frankie Drinks, Ask Kenny Jordan, Ask Rob Amato, Ask Joey Drew, you know, and ask Gerald Chin if you want to, you know. So, but first, before I go back in the Zoom lounge, because we got some cool people hanging out. This is like the coolest grouping of people I've seen in a while. You know, that's not true. I see cool people every week. That's a lie. But I want to make you guys feel good. So anyway, with that, I've got some beautiful footage that you guys may be seeing for the first time. So if you're on Sticks and Sips, you guys are going to see something really cool. So roll that beautiful footage, Jack Hare. All righty. So we're back. You know, that's a shout out to Global Creative in there for that awesome Tabak Lonsdale footage. You know, this is our new release here, and we're super celebrating it. So you guys run out and get this. I hear it's Willie's favorite size. He's a Lonsdale guy. So if you know Willie Herrera, you know, he's a Lonsdale Panatella, you know, type guy. And he loves presenting cigars in this format, and I'm going to agree with him. He's truly amazing. So with that, I'm going to go back into Zoom Lounge because it's Zoom Lounge time, and super excited. So for you guys, I'm going to introduce guys that you don't know that are in the Zoom Lounge. First of all, up there in the my upper right hand, I got Mr. Gerald Chin all the way from Vegas, from the Michael Mina Restaurant Group. So what's going on, Gerald?
You know, just drying off here in the 105-degree weather in my backyard.
I heard it was like 102, man. Are you exaggerating or what?
You know, when you've been sitting out here for about an hour now, it's about 105.
I got you. So everybody, welcome Gerald. He's an amazing chef and a big Drew Estate fan, and we're super happy to have you on. Next up, I got Joey Drew. You know, he's a regular, and I don't. And if you think about my pronunciation, it could be a regular or irregular. So, but he's the head of Global Creative, and it's always awesome to have him on. Joey, what's going on, brother?
I'm just kicking back, man. I sucked down that cocktail in record time, so it's gone. Feeling no pain. I'm not smoking the correct cigar with you guys tonight. I'm smoking something a little different. I'm smoking a Norteño, which is exceptional with this particular cocktail. In my mind, it's just dynamite. So if you're not into you know, the infused type of product, Norteño is your way to go with this one for sure. Got a lot of full body going on it and a lot of rich flavor, just kicking.
How's that? How's that? I know, like when I smoke a Norteño, it's got that little bit of a peppery bite on it. And I think it's a really good with the cream in the cocktail to kind of coats your mouth, and I think it would make a wonderful pairing. And I always defer to Joey on that.
Yeah, so, you want a cigar that stands up to it if you're going to go in a traditional sense. It's got to stand up to a cocktail. It's got enough oomph in it like this one does. So that's why I picked the Norteño. It's magic. Well,
that's and you added a little bit of a spicy chili liqueur in there.
Yeah, the Ancho Reyes. It's just
for those of you guys that have had a Mexican hot chocolate, has a little bit of a chili pepper bite on it. So he's kind of replicating that in this cocktail. And that was a great choice, Joey. You're always out there to outdo me, and I take my hat off to you. My lovely Patron hat, by the way, I'm just going to say, this thing is fire. Thank you, Kenny, on that. And with that, listen, last but not least, but we got somebody jumping into our Zoom. Like I always say, the man that needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. The founder, the brains, the heart and soul behind Drew Estate, Mr. Jonathan Drew. Welcome, JD.
Yo, what's up, Frank? What's up, everybody? How we doing? Jumping on here. I'm in the Hamptons out in Long Island, and I was coming back from a little trip out in Sag Harbor, and I'm lucky I still caught the show, and I'm getting all sorts of text messages from my mother and father, and they're I guess my dad is already watching. They watch it religiously. So my mother's all stressed out. She's having a little trouble getting on. But I know that Walking Chan's on too. So look at this crew you got tonight, man. This is an all-star team over here. You got the Patron dude, Gerald, Mr. Joey, Rob Amato.
Murderer's Row.
Over there. But no, good to be with you guys tonight and enjoying the show immensely, Frank. It's such a great show. So I'm chilling and enjoying.
Well, I'll tell you this. So, we had a great introduction to Patron Spirits because it really is an amazing story. It kind of emulates a lot of what we do, Kenny, in that you guys started in the late 80s as, and we kind of started in the 90s, but not too far separated. You guys rose to the premium with the idea of premiumization of tequila and being industry leaders, and that's something that us at Drew Estate have followed under Jonathan Drew's leadership here, and we call him JD. But under his leadership, we've brought the enormity of products and industry leading movement into tobacco. So we're honored to have you here. And with that, in that same vein, I would say, Gerald, as you have been part of something. Gerald, give everybody a little bit. Tell us a little bit about Mina Group, man, because that's people may not know Mina Group, but once you start saying, once he figures out that mute button.
There we go. Yeah, Mina Group. I mean, we're worldwide, all the way to Dubai, to Hawaii, across the U.S. We have a couple restaurants in your neck of the woods over in Florida. I particularly oversee our steak division, which would be strip steak and bourbon steaks. We have a strip steak in Fontainebleau in Miami, and we have one in Vegas, one in Hawaii, and we also have our bourbon steak in Aventura. But amongst that, we have over about 15 or 16 different concepts in our group and about 50 restaurants in our portfolio. So it keeps me busy.
Well, I would tell everybody that's out there, look up Mina Group, online and check out their restaurants because their concepts are phenomenal. But more importantly, your concept above your food. And forgive me for saying this because Gerald, food is your thing, but hospitality is a Mina thing. And you guys have the best hospitality in the industry. And I say hats off to you guys for keeping that quality going hospitality is the key that drives not only our industry, the spirits industry, and the restaurant industry. That's something we share in common. So, so listen, one more shout out. I'm gonna last questions are coming in right now. So get your questions in for everybody in the group. Kenny, I'm gonna say one thing, man. I forgot to talk about National Tequila Day, and that's coming up on Friday, brother.
Friday.
No, Friday. So tell us about National Tequila Day, man. What is that? It's that day we got to go out and buy a bottle of Patron. What's happening, brother?
That's an absolute. That's you have to, no matter what. It's just a way to celebrate tequila, celebrate Mexico, and have a good time. And really, what a perfect way to celebrate and light up a stogie while you're at it as well.
Well, listen.
But no, it's just a fun day, man. Just to represent and get to experience tequila all at the same time.
Well, I think there's some people that are watching that celebrate National Tequila Day every day. And
I was just gonna say that's my day every day, my man.
So that's a great thing, and also, hey, I've got like 2 special shout outs here, but while we're in the Zoom, because I want everybody in the Zoom to pipe in here. Yesterday was a very special day for one of our big DE guys. And so I want to say a special happy birthday to Walkin' Chin out there who's tuning in.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Walkin'.
So, hey guys, so go out, do your little shout out for walking out there, each one of you.
Yo, I'll kick it off. So I give a super duper triple giant shout out to my boy Walkin' Chin, decorated 29 years, policeman in New York City, an incredible person, human being, family man, and also is highly dedicated to the culture of cigars and raising cigars for our troops. And we love Walkin'. So that's a major shout out from the heart. I'm just pissed off that you haven't had him on the show yet. The man needs to have his moment. You got his favorite cousin on here, but a nephew, but you don't even get Walkin' on here.
Listen, Walkin's been trying to steal my thunder with his root beer float videos and his hot dog day. So I'm a little peeved right now, Walkin', because he's taking some of my followers and some of my viewers. But I'm gonna say, Walkin', I love you, man. It's always good seeing you. It's always good being with you, and I want to wish you the happiest of birthdays. Those videos are killing me, man. So if you guys check out Walkin' Chin, what I like to call him, Joaquin, Joaquin, so Joey, hit him up, bro. Hit him up.
Yo, he's 100% DE family through and through. You want to surround yourself with good people, and he's good as you're gonna find. And that's what I love about him. He's just rock solid. You just love the guy from the first minute you meet him. And he's just, what more can you say about a man than that? You enjoy his company, and you love everything that he's about and that he's done in his life. And it's just fantastic. I just love watching him, and that root beer float video had me on the floor rolling. It was great. So Walkin' Chin, happy birthday, brother. We love you, and you stay safe out there.
Absolutely. Rob, I know you want to give him a shout out. Kenny, I'm going to exempt you from this because you don't know Walkin', but I know Rob
I'll still give him a shout out from the Patron family, man. You guys are vouching for him, so happy birthday, man.
Come on, Rob, give him a shout out. Though I know he gives you a lot of shit when we see him out at the trade shows, but
for those that don't know Walkin', he's the coolest guy. He's always got a great story to tell you, and the nicest guy too. Even if he doesn't know you, he'll talk to you for 2 hours. So happy birthday, Walkin'. You're the man.
And every now and then, my boy Gerald will make us some pork belly and some juk, and Gerald will complain about it. So this is good, but it's not great. So we love you, Walkin'. So cheers to you. And I've got another birthday shout out because this is important. Happy birthday to Dr. Cuenca. It's his birthday. So Dr. Cuenca from Hoya Cigars. If you guys know Hoya, listen, this is the guy. This is the guy, JD. I'm gonna let you kick this off because you know him better than anybody.
So first of all, this nice double birthdays here, great people, and I know we don't do this often, so I know you don't, so I know it means a lot to you. They mean a lot to you. So Dr. Alejandro Martinez Cuenca is the owner of Hoya de Nicaragua, him and his family, and our brand partner now for over 10 years in representing the brand. And you said it's Alejandro, right? His birthday?
Yes.
Good.
Dr.
I'm making sure I heard
Not
it correct.
the son, the dad.
Yo, I was just making sure because I hadn't had any Patron yet. I'm getting ready. Get my Patron and my two-step in a minute. So yeah, just huge thing. Everybody knows Hoya de Nicaragua brand, the Antonio, and all the family of brands that they have, and Drew Estate's partnership with them. So many shouts out to a great brother and our Nicaraguan family on the other side in central Esteli. We're out in the Rosario area. So much love and blessings. I'll keep it short and sweet. We love you.
That's awesome. So Joey, I know we have a special relationship with Dr. Cuenca as we're talking about. Kenny, you don't need to know this, but we're talking about growing agave over in Nicaragua. One day,
Okay.
and then we'll talk to you about having Patron come over and help us out. So but Joey, give a shout out to Dr. Cuenca.
Yeah. There's again another genuine, just spectacular individual that I'm so proud to even know, and I'm honored to know him and call him a friend. He's just he's just one of those guys you just gravitate towards to learn so much from his history, his wealth of knowledge, and his just ability to share all of that with you in a way that just brings you right into him. Every time I see him, I give him the biggest hug. So happy birthday, Alejandro. We love you.
And now we'll echo that for Dr. Cuenca. Proud that you are part of that family, that Drew Estate family. It means so much. So so cheers to you. And now before I get to the questions, my man Joey. So Kenny, every week I've got something called a Mezcal Minute. So because my man is the mezcal guy. So not me.
So everybody, get your copitas going up in the group there.
I've got a little tiny copita amount of cocktail left, so I'm gonna raise this.
So the Mezcal Minute is tequila for all you novices out there is a type of mezcal. So that's just one little nugget to throw in everybody. So basically all the other agave spirits that are made throughout Mexico, which there are many and they're amazing, that is mezcal in a nutshell. And tonight, drinking this, there you go, Real Minero Barril, which is one of my faves. They're all my faves, but this one's a real favorite. As you can see, the bottle's going down steadily, episode to episode. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. And it's just fabulous stuff, drinkable, sippable, and you just ease back with it, man. It's cool.
Well, as we like to say, all tequila is mezcal, but not all mezcal is tequila. So,
Truth to that.
So with that, salute, Joey, on bringing a Mezcal Minute. And now I'm going to jump into our first question. So we got questions picked here. So here we go. This is it. This is the moment you've been waiting for. John Hinderman II. He says, what's the best non-alcoholic and non-coffee drink to best accent the stick? And by the stick, I'm going to imagine a tobacco. And I'm going to have my choice. And Joey, what do you think? What's the best pairing, non-alcoholic, non-coffee pairing for a tobacco? What do you think?
Wow, man, that's limiting. Man, just a drink. I mean, I think you go with something like a cola, like a true traditional cola would work well with that. Yes, there's maybe a coffee-like essence to what makes cola. Juices may not work too well with it, but I would say a good cola or even a root beer. If you just want a little bit more pronounced flavor, I think a root beer would go good with it as well. So one of those two.
Yeah, I would agree. I think and I would go with the Mexican Coca-Cola, which is sugar-based, would make a great pairing.
Yeah, a nice birch beer, a sarsaparilla,
Birch
if you
beer,
want to get.
sarsaparilla. You know, if you want to go like stuff that's readily available, let's say a Dr. Pepper is always a great combo. You know, because it is a combination of, you know, yes, it's prune, it's sarsaparilla, it's a combination of all those. So, um, you know, Rob, do you have a non-alcoholic, non-coffee that you would pair with the tobacco?
You know, in the vein of sarsaparilla, root beer is always good.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So
Yeah.
congratulations, John. You're a winner. Next up, all right, Mr. Chris Duque. Chris Duque. What's a good recipe for mixing Mexican hot chocolate with tequila? So I'm gonna throw that over to Kenny. Kenny, I know you've had Mexican hot chocolate, right?
For sure, for sure. I mean, the easy answer, man, is you add this guy right here. That's the easiest one right there.
So
No
but let me-
brainer.
So yeah, this is a no-brainer. But if we went with the tequila only,
Yeah.
would you say the silver, the reposado, or the añejo?
I would go with an añejo or an extranejo. You get some of those barrel elements, so you get some of the, you know, like what you would get from a whiskey. So, you know, it's going to be the vanillas, you know,
Yeah, it's like a
anything that
butterscotch. Yeah.
exactly, 100%. But that's what I would do. That's a no-brainer there as well.
That's fantastic. So congratulations, Chris. You got your cutter coming. You know. So you know, maybe I'll throw in some of these for those of you guys that don't know what that is. I don't know. It may be a sticker. It may not be. You know, we'll figure that out. But congratulations, Chris. Mike Artino. It seems tequila is not widely recognized as cigar pairing. Is there a reason for that? It seems very underappreciated. And that's a great question. And I'll take the first piece of that is, you know, we tend to want to pair our spirits with the whiskey profile. You know, we go to whiskeys, we go into cognacs, and we kind of forego the other barreled aged spirits, you know, and it's kind of getting to understand other barreled aged spirits. And as you get into tequilas and you get more knowledgeable with things like the Extranejo or the Añejo or the Reposado, you understand that they could actually pair very well with cigars. Kenny, you have any comment on that?
No, I mean, that's a great question. You know, it's really all, and you alluded to it, it's really all about education and really, you know, as tequila becomes more popular and people find, you know, the other marks other than silver, you know, so many, and even the silvers are true sippers, but these extra añejos and añejos, like you said, bringing all those elements in, to me, you know, really help accentuate some of those cigar flavors. So I think really it's just a matter of getting more people used to tequila and learning about the nuances of it.
Absolutely. So, you know, so congratulations. That was a great question. Explore. You know, I've been a big advocate of exploring different spirits and trying them with cigars. You know, either trying, you know, keeping that cigar the same, trying different spirits, or keeping that spirit the same, trying different cigars and finding truly what you like. Experimentation, that journey is the best part. So, next up. Chris Coulter, congratulations. You got yourself a cutter. And this one goes right to Kenny, right to you, man. It took me off the hook right here. So how has the rise in premium tequila's popularity affected the agave growers?
Well, it's a good question too. And, you know, tequila production, it ebbs and flows. So some years, you know, you have quite a bit of production. Other years it's lean. You know, so the growers out there, obviously you want to sell it for the highest, you know, possible price that you can. in the years where there's a ton of production and a ton of tequila on the market, the agave prices go down. With the popularity of tequila and the exponential growth that we keep seeing, prices continue to rise. So, that's the quick and easy answer. An agave takes about 6 to 8 years to mature, to be ready to go into production. So, right now, our people are out there trying to plan for not only next year, but 6, 8 years from now. So it's a process. You've got to work really, really hard and really tight with all the growers out there.
Well, that's something that we understand at Drew Estate, and Joe, you can back me up on this. As we're talking about, like, people go, hey, we're not getting enough Liga. We're talking about an agricultural product that comes to market and becomes ready when it becomes ready.
Yeah. And you can't rush that stuff at all. I mean, it's and from the cigar standpoint, if anybody's been to Safari, they've been to our operation in Esteli, you see how much leaf you need to have on hand that's in various stages of becoming ready to manufacture the cigar. So that's that same thing. You're hedging your bet because you've got to keep buying. You've got to buy leaf every year. Everyone's got to have agaves coming online every year. You can't miss a year. When you miss a year, that upsets the whole flow of goods that you're trying to, that people are wanting, that you can't deliver on. So that's always the trick in any product of this nature. But it makes it fun. It makes it, that's the way you sharpen your heads and you get down into it of how you're going to overcome a lot of the natural hurdles that are placed in front of you.
Fantastic. So great question. Next up, I got Paige Clark, and basically, what is your favorite coffee with a cigar? And I'm going to start it off with, I really do love a cafe con leche, which is the equivalent of a cafe latte pretty much, except that the espresso in a cafe latte is unsweetened, and Cuban espresso, Cuban coffee is sweetened a little bit. So steamed milk. And again, I think it depends on on the vitola of the cigar. If you've got a lot of time, you kind of want a little more coffee. If you got a little bit of time, you can go with something like a cortadito or something that's a little smaller. It all depends on the amount of time you got. But, I always defer to a cafe con leche. So, I'll go to Gerald, man. What's your favorite coffee when you're having a cigar, brother?
I'm a traditionalist, so I got my little Nespresso machine. I do a little espresso. Then I go out back and I start off light. I'll do the undercrown, the white label.
Okay.
And then throughout the day, I work my way up. But the either undercrown, I'll do a Tabak. And then I'll end the night or actually a little before the night ends. Of course, the Liga 9s are my favorite.
There you go. Rob, you're an Italian guy, man. So just tell me espresso, lemon peel.
That's pretty much it. Just an espresso, lemon peel. Unless I'm in Miami with you guys, then it's Cuban coffee or cafe con leche all day.
Kenny, what about you, brother? What's your favorite coffee?
I'm more of a purist there myself, but I'll do the Cubano as well, man. That's a good one. I had a chance to get out to Cuba a few years ago, and that was having those authentic Cubanos, man. It's there's nothing better. What a pairing! It's perfect.
Well, look, listen. No one said 7-Eleven, 32 ounce. So I'm a little upset right now with the French vanilla creamer. But Joey, help me out here, brother.
Man, I'm gonna go a little off the side. I like the Italian roots of it all. Is you need that little shot of anisette, with the coffee bean floating in there. Let's start off like that. Yeah. Little sambuca with the coffee, with 2 or 3 beans floating in there. That's a nice way to start it off. But no, I'm traditional in the sense that in the morning it's black. But if you're gonna drink black coffee, you can't use one of these Nespresso machines and Keurigs and stuff. You got to grind your beans up, make it fresh, French press if you can do it. you'll realize, oh my God, I've been missing out my whole life because I haven't had a really well-made, properly brewed cup of coffee to then pair with the cigar you've been saving for that moment. And so that's where I go. And David Torres, my wonderful assistant and creative, makes a wonderful French press coffee for me whenever we're together in the office. So cheers out to David Torres, hooking a brother up with some nice made coffee so I don't have to go to that Keurig machine every 10 minutes.
Anyway, no knock on Keurig in case they're watching, but you guys have been the death of coffee. Anyway, so by the way, #1 coffee, Dunkin'. Anyway, so you guys can drink it in this big old mug, and I love a good French press coffee in the morning. And Joe, you coming across as a true connoisseur. And
some people would say I'm a douche is the word. I think that, there's a cocktail douche, there's a coffee snob or douche.
Right.
All of that.
I'm the cocktail douche. I just want to be specific with you.
Okay.
So we're talking, we're not talking Michael Mina. They're not making Keurig coffee for you when you're there. They're doing the real deal. So go out and check them out. And with that, we've got that's it for our drawings. And listen, we've got to the end of the show. I can't believe time has flown like this. This is insane. So, this is last call. Listen, last call. I've got my shot of Añejo. So if you guys can see my shot glass here, if you guys know, I'm a big Boba Fett fan, because he's a mercenary. And,
nice.
And so I'm going to sip my little Añejo. This is probably not the way you're supposed to have it.
I'm getting after it. I got the big gulp.
As I say, yeah, Gerald's got the big gulp. But I say enjoy it as you like. It's amazing. So let's give a little support out there to our hospitality brothers and sisters out there. Please support your hospitality industry, as well as supporting your local liquor stores and cigar shops. And we're super honored to have great partners like ABC, Benny's, Specs, and Total. And the beauty of it is that you're going to find Tabacs there. You're going to find Patron there. And they have a great selection. So go out there and get that going. Support them. Support your local brick and mortar. Support your local hospitality. And truly, be part of the solution, because I think everyone here wants to see us come out of this sooner or later. I want to thank my special guest. I want to thank Kenny Jordan for being with us. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it, my brother.
Yeah, appreciate it very much, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers,
I want to thank Rob Amato from Vegas as well. This is the Vegas non-Vegas show, right?
Yeah, we try.
All right. And my man Gerald out there in the 175-degree heat, burning up, man. But he's got that double serving of that tequila, because I know that's what he likes, man. And that spinning glass, so we'll get to that in a minute. But with that, Gerald, thank you for being on. And my man Joey.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother. It's always good seeing you.
I drank everything. I drank the cocktail. I drank, I don't know how many copitas. I smoked 2 cigars. That was a good happy hour.
Yeah, I would say that's what I call a happy hour.
That's a happy hour.
And I know we got JD tuning in. He popped in. He's sneak attack. And I love that. And cheers to you, JD. Thank you for tuning in.
And cheers to everybody in the chat, man. You guys lit up the chat tonight, so that's great. Great seeing everybody commenting and just cheering away. So it's great to see everybody.
Listen, then, I don't see the chat. You guys are lucky. You guys get to see the chat. But awesome. But let me tell you, I wake up extra early tomorrow morning. After extra early, I mean, it's a loose term. But I wake up as early as possible, and I rewatch the episode, and I see everyone's comments. So I thank you. I thank you for being part of it, and I enjoy those. After the fact. Right now, I'm going to start lighting barista style, so I'm going to have my side-by-side Dulce and Negra barista style. So shout out to Rob Amato for doing that. And first of all, I want to thank the entire marketing team for bringing this together. I want to thank my man Jack Hare for producing the show. That guy's amazing, and everybody at Global Creative for helping make those great graphics for us, and the entire Drew Estate family. That's sales, that's the warehouse, that's the factory, that's our leadership team. Keeping us relevant here, keeping me on the air. Making sure that my paychecks get signed. That's important, people. That's important these days. And more importantly, I want you to do the following. Let's show that follow screen. So make sure that you follow Drew Estate Cigar and Frankie Drinks on Facebook and Instagram. And one last shout out I've got for this evening is everyone that joined us that was out in Vegas, that Patron invited to join, all those guys in the industry. I want to give you a special shout out. Salute to you. Keep doing what you do. Drew Estate loves you. I love you. We support you. And we're going to see you soon. I can't wait to get out to Vegas and see you guys and support you the best way I can. And with that, listen, I'm the bar's closed, man. Bar's closed. No
Good
more.
riddance.
No more. Next week, we're talking about gin, and we're talking about St. George Spirits all the way from Alameda, California. Super excited about that. Bar is closed, guys. I'll see you next week. Cheers.
Hey, everyone. This is Frankie Drinks. I'm the Cigar and Spirits Pairing Specialist for Drew Estate. I'm also the ambassador of the Pappy Van Winkle Family Reserve Barrel Fermented line of cigars. It is an honor and privilege to represent Drew Estate Cigar Company. Through our rich and innovative history, we truly have created something for everyone's palate. Together, we will travel to different locations to experience cigar pairings with spirits, cocktails, beverages, and food. Along the way, we will explore a few locations, hang in a few bars, learn some history, and truly celebrate our lifestyle. Come join me as we embark on this journey of discovery. Cheers!